old show. This is the big 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 old show.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Link, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Link. Be the maestro of your own home.
Come on in to Toyota of Hollywood, where curiosity and extraordinary deals await you. Your golden ticket buys a 2025 Corolla, not $26,000, $17,988. And we've got sweet deals with 0% financing for 72 months, 0 down. Enter our world of wonder, and we'll show you why we're the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
The Memorial Day event starts now at Florida's #1 volume Subaru store, Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy a new Subaru today with financing as low as 0% APR, or lease a new Outback for only $278 a month. Shop SPPLove.com.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Ray. Just one place sold the most Acura models in the last 18 years. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive the new Acura ADX. Only $289 a month during our 18th anniversary sale.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. Ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Welcome aboard, boys and girls, on a Wednesday, June 3rd, 2026. Thank you for tuning in whenever you do tune in, and we appreciate you as always. Don't forget to smash the hell out of the like button as we get you through a hump day, June 3rd. And right now, by the way, Jeff Halfley is talking with the Meteors and already broke a little news that Zach Sealer had a minor tweak yesterday and it kept him out of practice. Now, he says it's nothing major, so that's good. But you know me, that's the only thing I worry about in all these things. I know it's all mental reps and all that good stuff, but it's just one of those where you just worry about injuries. You don't want any, injuries at this point in time where it could really affect the season, Not that this season is going to be, there's no chance of you doing anything this season. But my point is, we have a few good players. We'd like to keep them on the field so we can actually watch it during the football season. I mean, we're all going to watch no matter how bad or how good they are, right? It doesn't really matter. But the reality is, I'd like to watch it with Zach Sealer, not without. You know what I'm saying? So when you see these kind of little things, we'll see what happens. On Jalen Reagor, he was part of a workout, and he stood out, so they signed him, and they don't have a strong receiving core. So the Jalen Reagor signing yesterday made sense because at this point, if you can bring something in that's affordable, that's not going to break the bank because you don't have much bank, you do it, man. You try. And that's one of your areas where you're not strong. And if you want Malik to succeed, you got to give him the best receiving core out there. Again, it's going to be hard to find something really special out in the open market. You're going to find guys like this that are free agents, that are bouncing around, that have been on a bunch of teams. This kid's had a bunch of injuries. So, it is what it is. What are you going to do? But I get why they signed him, because they don't have a great wide receiving core, bring in a little bit more competition. And he also is a returner. And we talked a little bit about that with David Furones, by the way. We did the interview in the afternoon, posted it in the evening. If you have not seen it, go to the platform there and you can watch the interview with David Furones. We talk about all kinds of things. Okay. So check it out with Quinn Ewers and Malik Willis, which is kind of an interesting conversation. May want to check that out. But we talk about a bunch of things, Achan, all of that, and check it out. And make sure you hit the like button too when you check out the interview. All right. Instead of having them yesterday during the show, which would not have been as fruitful as it was yesterday. Let's see what else we have here coming up from Halfley. So far, it's just the Reagor comments. If anything juicy comes up, we'll see, and we'll pass it on. Anyway, Good morning to all of you out there. Hope you all are doing well. Good news for the Dolphins as they sign 10 of their 13 draft picks. The 3 guys that are left are Caden Proctor and Chris Johnson, their 2 first-round picks, and Sador Traore, the British tight end that they got in, what was that, like the 6th or 7th round or something like that. But everybody else, Chris Bell, Kevin Coleman Jr., Caleb Douglas, DJ Campbell, Will Kazmarek, Jacob Rodriguez, Trey Moore, Kyle Lewis, Michael Taffy, Max Llewellyn, all signed. So you got 10 of the 13. What's going on with the other 3, if you're wondering? Proctor is set to sign a completely guaranteed $26.12 million deal. I guess they're dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and the way they're moving around the bonuses. I don't know. I'm not a capologist or anything. And then Chris Johnson is going to get a fully guaranteed $19.04 million deal. And I guess they're doing the same thing, and they're probably trying to protect themselves as a team on some things, and then the player and the agent are trying to protect themselves in some other things. Whatever, man. That's fine. But it'll get done, and that's what we're waiting for. Now, Traore is interesting. He doesn't have any chances of getting a fully guaranteed contract, but his contract for his lifetime, which is a 4-year deal, is worth $4.6 million. Now he has to figure out what kind of a roster bonus, injury bonus, those kind of things. Like if you get injured, you'll get a portion of your salary, roster bonus, or how much guaranteed in the first year. If it's $400,000, $700,000, I don't know. I'm not an agent. I don't break these things down, but that's probably what's going on with those. But they'll get done. It's not a big deal. It's not something that you should lose any sleep on. If you're a fanatical fan and you're, somebody rattled your cage about this, well, why haven't they signed the first rounders? It'll all get done. It's just regular negotiations that they all have to figure out, but it's not a big deal. The good thing is they got 10 of the 13 done, and the other 2, which really is what you want. Although I got to tell you, the British tight end is kind of intriguing because he's got serious pass catching abilities, and he's a good athlete that he could give Dulcich a run for his money athletically. Can he play the position? That's the thing we got to find out. But there you go. So that's what we got going on with the Dolphins. Good news overall. I mean, the stuff with Sealer is not. Let's see. Zeke Biggers can play some defensive end as well as defensive tackle. Jeff Hafley says he's a really good athlete at his size. And let's see, what else do we have? Asked about Tyrell Dodson's mindset amid the Dolphins adding a bevy of linebackers this offseason. He says, I don't think that should change. Every year you should feel like you have to compete for your job. Otherwise, you're going to plateau. Half says T-Dot sees the game really fast, very intelligent player. He hasn't seen anything other than a player who is striving to get better and to be a great teammate. Okay. What else do we have? That's it so far. Nothing earth-shattering outside of the Zach Sealer stuff. The rest of the stuff is fluff stuff. On Juju Brents, he's done a really nice job. Great length, good feet for his size, athletic. When you go back and watch his tape, when he was healthy, he was doing a really nice job. When he was healthy, which has been Juju's problem his entire career, just like Jalen Reagor, by the way, who they just signed. He's also he's had bad luck with injuries. That's just kind of the way it is. Some guys, their bodies don't agree with the sport that they, or the profession that they chose, and they continuously break down, and that's kind of what's been, what's set them back. Rager, I wouldn't say as much as Juju. Like, Rager's all right. Juju actually has some talent. Like, you wonder, if he doesn't have those injuries, where he's at. But yeah, he's got terrible luck, unfortunately. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right, what else do we have going on to talk about? Hope you all are well out there. Don't forget, please smash the hell out of the like button. Visit our friends at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. And by the way, with gas prices, and it's only going to get worse, there's no deal in sight. War has escalated. Gas prices are going to go through the roof here in this summer. And guess what a lot of people are doing? The electricity, the Uncharted right now, you can get it at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, 336 horsepower. That is awesome. You get over 300 miles of range. All wheel, symmetrical all wheel. All right. You could get the GT Uncharted, which has the panoramic glass roof, 20-inch alloy wheels. Oh man, it's like getting the Uncharted Sport, but on steroids. Okay. So either or, you can get the Uncharted, the Sport, the GT. The Trail Seeker has 375 horsepower, has 280 miles at a range. The batteries, by the way, for the Subaru, whether it's the Uncharted, the Trail Seeker, or the Solterra, they go from 10% to 80% in 28 minutes. That's pretty good, man. All right. And you know what? There's actually 25,000 supercharging networks around the country. So there's networks all over. Plus, you will have your own at your house, and you can plug it in anywhere. You can go to your in-laws' house or your friend and just plug it anywhere and charge it right away. Anyway, get the Trail Seeker. You can get the Solterra. It's got a 288-mile range also. You can get the Solterra Premium, the Solterra Limited, the Touring XT, the Touring XT Leather. You got to fight the gas, man. Get the electric. Oh, and one more thing. Mention my name at Subaru Pembroke Pines. You will get $500 off. See Alan, see Eric Stampone there at 16100 Pines Boulevard. They'll take care of you there at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. I can't wait to get mine. I will get mine probably next year, I think. Next year, I'm probably going to get it. I want to get the Trail Seeker. That's the one I like. Although, I got to tell you, the Uncharted. I mean, I love the Solterra from 2 years ago. But once I saw the Uncharted and the Trail Seeker, I was like, wow. And I love the Trail Seeker. It's the bigger version. It's got a little more horsepower. But both of them, the Uncharted is just absolutely beautiful, man. Really, they've done a great job with Subarus now, taking it to the next level. So I am looking forward to it. Next year, I will get mine. All right. What else do we have going on? Don't forget, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults there at Cash App or Venmo. And speaking of that, by the way, Bitcoin, where are we right now? How low can we go? I told you we had a shot to touch 60. We're at 66.7. Juicy. Anyway, what else do we have going on in the markets? The markets are doing well. The Dow is up right now 279 points. I think that's where I just pulled it up. Sometimes it gets tweaked a little bit, which is, again, phenomenal considering everything going on. Okay, now it tweaked down. Now we're down 351 points. That's more like it. The S&P's down 25. And again, I got to tell you, down 351 points is not bad. and the NASDAQ is barely down almost a point. But 351 for me, I always know that, Bitcoin and crypto get hit always first. So that's kind of, I understand what's going on there. On this side of the market, it's either a lot of smart people are desperate, or there's a lot of dumb people in the market and they don't see what's actually going on overseas and, in the Middle East. So it's kind of what's about to, it's going to get worse and worse and worse, and people don't understand. And it's just kind of weird. It's weird, and I've been telling you about it for a few weeks, but I don't know how people that are in the market right now don't see what's coming. And yeah, so we got that going on in the market. Done with that, we move on. Oh, sports now. What else do we have going on here? Captain Saki, the great Captain Saki. He is out there. He's been guiding in the Florida Keys since mid-April. Finally, a day off, checking in from Big Pine Key, Tarpon Springs in the house. Nice, Captain Saki. Very good for you, bro. Nice. It's always sweet to be hanging out and around the Keys. I love the Keys. Always have. Keys are a fun place. Good people, too. They live life the way you should live life. Chill. Oscar Rojas is out in Melbourne. NorCal is puffing it. He's jamming Tool, right? He says, good Lord. Oh, no, he says, play Tempest by Tool. Good Lord, they're so good. Puff, puff, give. Well, it's Tool, of course. Idleman is in the house out in Castle Rock, Washington. Caleb Douglas has no targets yesterday. Is he in it's mini camp, bro. You got to understand Caleb Douglas is, a green guy. He's got stuff to learn. So take it easy. It's going to take a while here. None of this is going to happen overnight, especially for Caleb Douglas. Guys like what's it called? Chris Bell. Once he gets fully healthy, that he can take the field, that's the kind of guy that you can push the envelope with him, because he's much more mature and ahead of a guy than Caleb Douglas. Caleb Douglas is light years behind Chris Bell. If we're going to be honest, you know how we are on this show. We call it like we see it. All right. Dolphin Dave in the house. Kosa, an awful lot of excuses for Willis not looking sharp in shorts without a pass rush nor contact. Media folks think Malik's escapability will negate his inaccuracies. You're preaching to the choir, my brother. It's I get the game that is played. It's a game that is played by a lot of media members because it's the safe way to play it. You don't want to be opinionated from the get-go because that doesn't look good. It doesn't help you. It turns people off and stuff when you're very opinionated right from the get-go. People don't like that. I'm telling you. I don't know why I know these kind of things, but people, I'm telling you, they don't like it. So what they do is when it all starts, they play the, it could go any way and all that. And deep down inside, they know that Malik Willis is not necessarily an accurate guy, but they're afraid of being wrong. Oh, my God, I'm wrong. So they go along with it. He's got to work on his accuracy. Well, yeah, that was from college. We're 5 years later, bro. You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do? That's that. And Halfley said it himself, didn't he? Didn't I decipher it yesterday on the show for you guys? When he looked at Quinn Ewers, the way he spoke about Quinn Ewers, the way he spoke about Halfley. If you listened to the show yesterday, He talked about him completely different, but I loved it because it was refreshing. Because it was like, no, I know Malik can run. I know he can put pressure on the defense that way. No, I need to see him do it from the pocket because it's what we talk about all the time. You can run all you want, bro. I need to know that you can live from the pocket. If you can't live in the pocket, I have no use for you as a fan. I don't want you on my team. That's all. Why do you think I've never been a Lamar Jackson believer? Because he cannot live from the pocket. He has to run. And if you have to run to be a good quarterback, then you're not a good quarterback. A good quarterback can play the position from the pocket. And then if you can run, then that is an extra feature like Mahomes. Mahomes can live in the pocket, do everything in the pocket, and he'll run if he has to run, if it's last resort, but it's not play design constantly. You know what I'm saying? Every once in a while, there's a play design for any quarterback to run because it kind of throws everything off because of that play where you're running a naked bootleg and they don't expect you or whatever. And, you know, it happens. But if they have to implement it in your game, then you're not a good quarterback. If you can't live in the pocket without running, then you're not a good quarterback. You're not a good passer. And I think that's what kind of Halfley was saying without directly saying what we say or what you're insinuating, Kosa. You know, and I think you're 1,000% right. I'm not arguing with you at all because I agree with you. I don't want to hear about, he can run. That's lazy talk from hosts or writers or anybody that starts saying, but he can run and Tua can't. Yeah, but he can't live in the pocket like Tua can. And that to me is the most important. Marino couldn't run at all, but he lived in the pocket. Tom Brady can run. But, you know, it's just kind of Matt Stafford doesn't run. They can live in the pocket. That's what I like. Like the Jaden Daniels kid in Washington, he can live in the pocket all he wants. He'll run because it's a feature that he has, but he's a pure pocket passer that can run. That I like. That's my kind of quarterback. I don't have a problem if you can run, but I don't want you to depend on running, where you are quick to bring the ball down and you're going to take off. You're not going to live long in this league. That's just kind of the way it goes. Anthony Kyle Campos, yes, the news is in. Chris Greer found a home quickly. He has been hired by the Lions. Kind of makes sense that it would happen after the draft, and then he'd get a job so he can start fresh as a personnel executive. It's kind of like I'm gonna give you kind of a half-ass educated guess, okay? Because there's some education behind it. He's going to help out in assessing personnel and scouting personnel. That's it. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that he has to be physically somewhere. He could be at home when they're sending him tapes where, hey, we're looking at a group of these guys. We're looking at all this. What do you know about this? Can you find out more about this player? Because he may have contacts, this, that. I'm sure he's going to have contacts because everybody at that level has contacts all over the place. And you use your contacts to gather information. So you help out the Lions gather personnel information about certain individuals, certain people you're looking at, maybe also in trades, that kind of stuff. It's like a consultant type of thing is what it is. That way he pulls the most salary from the Dolphins and very little from the Lions. So the money relief for Stephen Ross is not going to be much, just in case if that bothers you all out there. Okay? I don't think it bothers Stephen Ross one bit. I'm just saying. I kind of get the feeling that that's kind of a relationship that didn't end on a bad note, believe it or not. I don't think he cares about what he has to pay Chris Greer or not, because I know some of you, it eats you alive if Tua has any success or he's getting any kind of publicity. And I'm sure it'll eat some of you alive if Chris Greer gets a job or is accepted by some other organization or anything like that. So I know it's going to, and then you're also bothered by how much are the Dolphins going to get a break on when it has nothing to do with the cap or anything, but just because it bothers you. Whatever. But anyway, I think it's kind of more of a consultant type of thing where he gets to use his expertise in personnel and investigating and all those kind of things and getting information. And that's kind of what it is. That's all it is. And that's his way of getting his foot back in the door. And then eventually, I don't know when that whole deal will end. And then he'll try to look to, I would imagine, try to climb back in somewhere, somehow. If it's not there, it's somewhere else. Jeff in Long Island says, just finished watching the Furones segment from yesterday. As usual, I hit the like button on 29 likes and over 300 views. Very, very disappointing. Don't be lazy. Smash the like button. Thank you. There you go. He says only 29 likes and the three. Yeah, well, that happens, but appreciate you. It's kind of like the way it goes, here. Although right now, 25 there's only 42 watching right now. So, it's not a bad ratio considering what it happens. So that means there's a lot of hardcore people that truly love the show, and we appreciate you all as always. Thank you. I know how it is, dude. It's rough right now. There's not a ton to talk about. It's not sex. And I'm not the guy working to go get a bunch of interviews right now. I'm not doing that. Why do I not do that? What's there to talk about? Why am I going to bring somebody on from the Dolphins or NFL? Well, NFL I could bring on for some other story, but do you guys care about bringing on a story about the Rams or something else? No, you want Dolphin headlines, and there aren't anything. There really isn't anything on. And then the Heat. I love my Heat, but same old, dog. What's there to talk about with the Heat? You're waiting for the Giannis move, which is going to be a disaster move. You know what I mean? Nothing to talk about. We're waiting for the Panthers next year. There's nothing to talk about. Nobody cares about the Marlins. Nobody cares about Inter Miami. It's just, and we're waiting for the Canes. And we have Manny on every week, and it's all about recruiting. So it's just not sexy. So I get it, man. I get it. But I'm certainly not going to waste time and bother people in the off season to talk about gibberish. Nobody really knows what's going to happen with Giannis. Nobody here in this town really knows, because with the Heat, you don't penetrate anything. We're all just waiting for it to happen. And then we'll talk about it. Rosendo, good morning to you. Enjoying the last day of the school year. I have a Big O Show logo going up today to honor the last day of the school year. It'll be on the audio recordings. You'll see it because we change every day. There's like a different Big O Show logo on it and all that. So we have a little fun with that, changing it up. Let's see. John Padilla, thank you, sir. Jaybird in the house. He says, Golden Knights. Yeah, man. That was a hell of a game yesterday. And and meanwhile, they're chanting the goalie's name and all that because of that whole incident. No means no. Yeah. Yeah, it was interesting last night. Let's see. Zyborg in. Dolphins signed 10 draft picks. Freudian slip, Big O. The Daft Picks. Did I say Daft or draft? Big Johnson in the house. Bitcoin plummeting. And who you got tonight? I got Spurs tonight. I would lay the points, but I'm going to wait for the live. Like I told you guys yesterday, I'm going to wait for the live line. But I got the Spurs. Spurs in 6 in this one. I had to. What am I going to waffle now? What have I told you all year? The finals will be OKC and San Antonio. The winner wins the championship. Even before any Eastern team was even a thought of going to the finals. I'm glad it's the Knicks because they're the best team in the Eastern Conference, but they're not better than San Antonio or OKC. So I got San Antonio winning in 6. Lenny Pena, thank you out there for smashing it as always. Let's see. Sean is with us on the live shows when we're at out at different places now, not during the daily show when we're in studio. Lenny Pena, Gus 1388, Jeff in Long Island, Daniel Guzman, finishing another workout, enjoying the show. Thank you, sir. The great Skylar Tipton, Brian Landis. NorCal says Rivian was at 1280 last week, and it's on the way to 830, right? Oh, it's on the way to 30. Yeah. Let's see. Think Blue Dodgers. What's up, Nation? Smashing it from Southern Cali. Thank you, sir. What else? Horn Dog, good morning to you. I hate the Knicks, but I got them in 6. Okay. Yeah, their fan base is it's funny because New Yorkers sometimes profess to be incredibly intelligent when it comes to sports. They kind of profess themselves to be that way. And in the end, they're just as smart and as dumb as any other fan base. They do all the silly shit other fan bases do. They overreact about their teams, about where they're at or whatever. And perfect example, look at what ESPN is doing. ESPN is adding more fluff to a fluff network by adding Jeremy Lin to its coverage. Jeremy Lin has been doing nothing. He did like a 3-day tryout. And then now that they have New York in there, they'll bring in the whole insanity crap back because New Yorkers aren't very smart. They thought that the insanity thing was going, next level. And anytime their teams have like just a little bit of success, they think that team is one of the greatest of all time. All that kind of stuff. I've seen Yankee fans get in the way of Yankee players in foul ball territory for a foul ball when, it's your team. You're at home. Let the guy catch the ball, and you've gotten away. I've seen it all. New Yorkers are as silly or as smart as any other fan base out there. And they have a tendency to be entertaining because they constantly overreact. They're an extension of Cubans. And being Cuban, I can make fun of Cubans. We exaggerate all the time. We're late to everything, although that's not my thing. But in general, we'll be late to our own funeral. It's kind of the way it goes. You know what I'm saying? We can stereotype that shit. And they're like that too. By the way, New Yorkers are also like Cubans in the same old Cubans from Cuba. Not Cubans here, but Cubans from Cuba. You talk on an old Cuban, they'll tell you, you're just talking light bulbs. Oh, the light bulbs in Cuba were the best. The light bulbs in New York are the best. Whatever it is. No, it's this. Oh, in New York, it's the best. Here in New York, it's the best. No, we're going to have the best pizza. No, yeah, we're going to have the best water. Yeah, no, we're going to have the best whatever it is. Yeah, that's kind of what it is. So that's where their entertainment comes from, their delusion. Their delusion that they think everything that they do is the best. Oh, it's great to live in New York. And then I always come back to them and say, well, then why you all moving here to South Florida? If it's the best, just saying. If New York is so great, why do you all run away from there? That kind of stuff. So, yeah, that's where the entertainment comes from. Horn dog, the delusion that they constantly carry. The delusion of thinking that they're smarter than everybody else when it comes to sports fans, when I have tons of examples that prove they're just as stupid as everybody else. You know what I'm saying? When they got the Russian owner with the Nets and they thought that, everything was going to change all of a sudden. And when they had their fake big three with Carmelo Anthony, they thought they were going to go places, and they did not. It's just kind of the way it goes. You know what I mean? So that's where they are entertaining. Their delusion makes them entertaining. Let's see. What else do we have here? Miles Deep. He says, I agree. Big short yard run. Good slide. I like it. I don't know what that means. Daniel says, local writers, a bit of a joke. Omar, lots of clickbait and wild takes. Poopart says, Jimmy Johnson, Dolphin era is vastly underrated. Why? Because they went to the playoffs? Because they had Marino? What's so underrated about getting rid of your best receiver for Marino and Irving Fryer? What's so underrated about telling us that Larry Shannon's going to be as good as Randy Moss? I don't know if Poupart said that or not, but that's absolutely asinine. That's all. That was a disgraceful time. He stripped that offense, ruined everything for the offense. Sure, he built up a nice defense, but then he left you Dave Wanstead, bro. That's like Leonard Hamilton leaving you Perry Clark. That's like your friend comes over your house and says, hey, can I use the bathroom? And then you can't go in there for the next week. It's the same thing. It's like, yo, bro, you came to somebody else's house and you left Agent Orange inside of the bitch? Like, yo, what's going on with you? That's exactly it. So I'm not sure how that's productive when Jimmy Johnson leaves you Dave Wanstead. I'm not sure how that's productive. Not sure. 62-7. Not sure how, you gave Marino the most embarrassing exit in the history of mankind. Yeah, no, I would call Jim. He brought in a wildcat quarterback for Marino. That's how much he was insulting Marino. Yeah, no, I'm not sure people remember exactly what's going on. So, yeah. But, hey, man, again, crazy-ass takes. That's what this world is all about. That's what you people, you chew up like crazy. It's I'll stay in the reality, my brother. I'm not going to. I'll just call things like it is instead. Okay. Let's see. Yes, I did love the fights, Miles Deep, and good for your guys. I got your guys in 6. Let's see. Greer seems like a nice guy, not a leader. I think Chris Greer could have had success here if he just did things his way. That's all. They catered way too much to the coaches, and he hired the wrong coaches, so he burned himself in the process. But There are plenty of personnel decisions that if you would have made the right decisions on getting rid of the right guys and keeping the right guys, things would have been different. But what really screwed Chris Greer was he hired the wrong two coaches on top of all of that. So he failed, unfortunately, there. But this is what I would tell him if I had a chance to sit down with him. I would tell him, if you ever get another chance again, do not listen to anybody and just do it your way. And I think that was his biggest problem. He catered to too many people, including his coaches, that instead of using his opinion, he deferred and allowed other people. I'll give you an example. He wanted, well, the front office, not he, the front office wanted Rob Hunt. McDaniel didn't. McDaniel thought he could replace him because McDaniel, I don't know. I don't know. Those of you that listen for years, do you remember at all me telling you that they put no value in guards, that they think they can teach anybody guards? Does anybody remember that? Of the hardcore that listen all the time. It's not. I know the things I say. I have good memory. I know exactly what I've said. And I know I've said it many, many times to you all. Like, it's almost like I mentioned it many times that if you're smart, you're like, this son of a bitch knows something because he keeps saying this. How many times did I tell you guys, when it gets to injuries, everything clams up in that building? Did I not? Have I not? Like, when it comes to injuries, I'm very lost, and because the building, we'll see, we'll start getting a feel for it down the line, but how it currently was, it's shut down for injuries, and I could not get you any real information on injuries. If you notice it. It's rare that I got you any information on injuries, and I would tell you that they would shut down, and I would tell you that their philosophy was that. Just like the front office did not want to pay Tyreek. I told you they did not want to pay Tyreek. And the coach got his way. And that cannot happen, bro. That cannot happen. You have Tua. You need Rob Hunt. You should have kept him. You said you wanted to keep him. But then the coach, no, we can replace him. That was his problem. And that's what I would say to any of you. Do things your way. Screw it. Because the day they fire you, the day they make a change, and you ended up counting on other people, that doesn't help you at all. Just doesn't help you at all. And then you end up having regrets because of what you did. Don't forget Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. And use our code Big O10 at Caneswear so you can get 10% off online or in person, and online too. If you buy over $99, you will get free shipping. Caneswear.com. All righty. Let me see what we got here. I personally don't give a crap what Tua Greer do since they got fired or released. Win or lose, F them. They ain't wearing the whale. All right. Brian Landris. So Greer is an assistant to the assistant GM, or maybe he's an assistant to the assistant to the assistant of the assistant GM. It's kind of like, it's consulting. It's not a hierarchy job yet. He has to work his way back up to somewhere else there. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. Appreciate you. Says, Big O, are we going to cover college intramurals? Are there women involved? is the question. No, Sean is great, dude. Sean is great. Sean is fine. Okay. Has nothing to do with health. All good. What else do we have here? Knickerbockers have not won since the early 70s. Yes. Yeah. But it happens with a lot of things, New York. Just gets blown up out of proportion. It's who they are. Let's see. Wasn't Greer the same person who offered Tua and Hill that large contract? Well, that's the Tua one. He was in on it with everybody else. The Hill contract, I know they didn't want to do it, but again, it falls on him because you gave in to your coach, so you end up losing. That's how the game is played. He didn't want to give Hill the money. I know that for a fact, and he did not want to get rid of Rob Hunt. I know that for a fact. That's why I'm saying do what you think is right. Don't cater to your coach. And he would say it publicly that, I'm gonna, help my coach. And if they need something, you can't do it that way. When you're the general manager, your coach can tell you, we need this guy. We need a position. But no, I want that guy. No, that's not how it goes. Okay, you need a safety. I'll see if that guy's the best guy. But if I think there's somebody better, I'm going to sign somebody better. And if I can get somebody cheaper that I think is just as good, I'm going to do that too. But I'm not getting that guy just because you say I'm getting that guy. And that's a mistake. And I think that that's a flaw for any general manager. And that's what I would tell him if I had a chance to sit down and say, if you ever get another chance again, screw the world, bro. Do what you think is right, because you're the one that's going to take the fall. And that's it. It is what it is. Doesn't matter, man. Nothing's changed in 40 years. Okay? To hang on one guy when it's been a problem for 40 years is just so silly. Just like when I hear, oh, well, Chris Greer was, messing the team up for 20 years. Well, he wasn't in charge for 20 years, bro. He was in charge for 7. He wasn't in charge when Tannenbaum was here, and he wasn't in charge when Saban or Wanstead or Jimmy or all these guys, Ireland, all that, they were in charge. He was just filing his reports. That's it. So blame everyone, owners, front office, and coaches for the last 40 years. They're all failures. It's not a one-man thing. I mean, seriously, I got to be honest. The last 15 years of Shula is worse than anything we've ever had when it comes to personnel decisions. Yeah. From the mid-'80s all the way, pretty much mid-'80s, maybe 84 and on, or 83 and on, to to 95, to his last year. Oh, my God. Some of the worst personnel decisions in the history of mankind. He was just an amazing coach. So he overcame a lot of that, and he had Marino that erased a lot of that. By the way, for that whole Jimmy Johnson era, even a broken down Marino has saved Jimmy Johnson's ass from just getting into the playoffs. If you would have had any of he brought in John Dutton at quarterback, Jimmy Johnson, Damon Heward. It's like, come on, man. It's funny when you hear that kind of shit. Quinn Ewers is going to get his chance with this regime, and I believe he will seize the opportunity. I just hope Coach Half has the courage to go. He may have no choice. Malik Willis may play his way right out of it and make mistakes. You're not going to stick with the guy week in and week out if he's screwing it up. You will give Quinn Ewers a chance. And he was very complimentary about Quinn Ewers yesterday. More complimentary about Quinn Ewers than he was about Malik Willis. We pointed that out yesterday. Check out the interview with David Furones. That will give you a little cheese to eat there. Greer needs to show a backbone if he ever gets a GM opportunity again. 100%, Daniel. 100%. All of us need to show a backbone. Whatever job you're doing, whatever it is, do it by, set a high standard and do it your way. Start doing it the way other people, just sets you up for failure, man. Big O, bet is still on. She wins an Oscar. Okay, all right. We got plenty of time, bro. Plenty of time. When it happens, it happens. We'll talk about it then. Let's see. Stop all the pictures on your videos. They're awful and do nothing but make people want to skip your show. I don't really care, Fins Up. Dude, I'm not the guy that's ever worried about people and what they think or what they say or any of that. If I did that, then I would live by what you guys think, and I don't worry about that. You know what I mean? The same people that flip out on the boards are the same people that freak out when I say trade X right after 10 interceptions. People like you, soft-ass fans. And as I've said for 36 years now, okay, my show is not for the blind-ass fan. The little sensitive fan that can't handle it, like last year when I was telling you all off season it was going to be a bad year. Those are the people that can't handle the billboards. That's it. You know what I mean? It's the same Heat fan that lost their shit when they go to the second trip to the finals with Jimmy Butler, and I say, now's the time to trade Jimmy Butler. And they lost it because they thought it was going to continue, just like they thought after X got 10 interceptions. Oh, no, you don't want to trade him now. No, now's when you want to trade him. So, it is what it is. I don't worry about what people say or think or any of that. I never have. I never will. If you want brutal honesty, that's what you're going to get here. You're not going to get fluff. And that's what you want, Fins Up. You want fluff. You want unicorns and rainbows all the time. And you've got to produce the unicorns and rainbows, not create them. And that's it. That's just kind of the way it goes. So we do it the way we want to do it. And whoever doesn't like it, we tell them that they can go themselves. It's pretty simple. That's all. I don't worry about anything else, man. AI generated images are just trash. They're just facts. It just takes work away from actual artists. Well, none of us have money to go pay artists, Skylar, to go design our billboards every day for our shows. That's, that's not reality. Reality is, I take the time, design it, put it all together, and put it out there. Okay? So, yeah. It takes a while, actually, to create those billboards. You just don't create it in 2 seconds because you got to, guide it perfectly, and then it doesn't get the image right or this, that, and then you got to resend it and redo it. And, yeah. So the AI has got to be trained. It's not easy, actually, to create the billboards. I should know. It's hard work every day. Anyway. All right, what else do we have going on? Let's get to our 3A graphics sports calendar, and we start off with the Miami Dolphins. They signed 10 of their 13 picks. The 3 guys left are Caden Proctor, Chris Johnson, and Sador Traore, as I told you. Not a big deal. Those things will get done. They also signed Jalen Reagor, wide receiver, free agent, to add a little depth to the team. Last night on the ice, the Knights took a 1-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Hurricanes, 5-4. Tonight, it'll be game 1 of the NBA Finals. Knicks at Spurs. Spurs favored by 4.5. Over and unders 218.5. The Lions, they hire former Dolphins GM Chris Greer as a personnel executive. Atlanta gives wide receiver Drake London, Tua Tagovailoa's number 1 target, a 4-year, $141 million extension, $100 million guaranteed. And Steph Curry signs a 10-year, $400 million shoe deal with Li Ning. Yes, that Li Ning, the one that Dwayne Wade wears, the one that Jimmy Butler wears, the one that C.J. McCollum wears, the one that D'Angelo Russell wears. I have a pair too. I have a pair of Dwayne Wade Li Nings. And if you need custom printing and embroidery, please call my guy, Alan Blanco, wherever you're at in the country. All that stuff is done by Zoom, and he'll have it shipped to you right away. Uniforms, shirts, hats, doesn't matter. 786-618-1443. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. Okay. You missed the blind ass fan alert? Yeah. You know what? Maybe we should give it to that idiot.
Blind ass fan alert. Look out, everyone. We've got a blind ass fan coming through.
The billboards are hurting my feelings. This is such a wimpy society, bro. Anyway, let's see. Pro athletes are like the stock market. Sometimes you must show backbone and sell high when the getting's good and buy low. That's it, baby. That's it. I am working hard, Anthony. Thank you. Thank you. I am working hard on the graphics. If you look around, you know, all the billboards, and when you go to SoundCloud or iTunes, you'll see the little, you know, we put work in, baby. We put work in. Let's see. Big O, you talk like you are from New York, and it's a compliment. You're tough and honest. I respect that. No BS. I just know New Yorkers, bro. I've got cousins in New York and New Jersey. So, you know, and we've got the 6th borough here. We got a ton of New Yorkers. They're just like old Cubans, bro. Telling you. And I guarantee you that anybody watching that's Cuban heard that segment, that part of it, they laughed their ass off. Because they know what old Cubans are. And then if they've run into some New Yorkers, they're like, yeah, those are brothers from different mothers right there. There's no doubt about it. Old Cubans and New Yorkers. Same thing. Let's see. Yeah, that's how it is, True Fan. Some people have no lives. Look at the Tua haters and all that. Like, they got to go out of their way. Like last week, Tua was being picked on because he's family first. I mean, how sadly immature are you that you would pick on anybody that puts their family first? Because I would hope that all of you do the same thing, right? I would hope that you put your family in front of your career, right? And in front of your hobbies, in front of anything, right? Isn't it family first? I would imagine, and especially if you're a mother or a father, oh my God, Yes, your kids are first, dude. You're dropping everything you're doing in the NFL, in the stock market, cleaning a house, draining a pool. I don't give a shit what you do in your life. Doing a stupid ass show, whatever, something happens to your child, this goes by the wayside. So does Tua and football. You go get your kids. You go take care of your kids first. Last week, True Fin Fan, we had Neanderthals because there's that effect in football. There's this level of ignorance in football. Fans, media, that they hate the kid so much that they went and twisted something that should be applauded. No, I'd rather have Tom Brady, who shits on his family for football. But hey, it's for my football team. Screw Moynihan and what's her name? The Brazilian woman? You know who. Whatever. Come on. That's what I want. I want the guy that shits on his family all the time. The guy that says, screw being a father and a husband. Oh, you're pregnant, Bridget? Nah, I got better things to do. That's the guy I want to idolize. That's what we had last week. I hate Tua so much that I got to pick on him for saying that he's a father first and a part-time football player. Wow, really? We're going to hate somebody for that. Oh, okay. That's real mature. That gets you places. Going to buy you a custom-made T-shirt from 3A Graphics of an indie girl winning her Oscar. You better do that. You better do that. Dolphin Dave says, I remember that. Lenny says, Joe tried to get Florio to join him bashing Tua, but yeah. Florio didn't bite. Florio went to the angle you're supposed to go to. That him and Kyler Murray are failed quarterbacks in their own ways that are trying to prove people wrong and getting a chance to resurrect their careers, possibly in better situations. We'll find out. Can they do it? That was Florio's take, which is the take a mature person uses, not, oh, I can't believe he chose his family over football. Oh, my God. Oh, this show is only for those who can take it as well as they dish it out. Otherwise, F off. Exactly. That's it. This is you got skin like leather. You can hang in this show. You can hang with me. You're a softie like that loser. Oh, the billboards. Oh, I'm so hurt. Oh yeah, this is not the place for it. Giselle, that's it. Giselle. Buchin, right? Oh, were you looking at me when you said old Cubans? No, but you laughed, I'm sure, right? Old Cubans, New Yorkers, la misma mierda. Guaranteed. Let's see. Tua, good man, not a football player, should really retire. There you go. Right. Family first. How dare he? Anyway, what else do we have going on in the world of sports to talk about, especially for the Dolphins? Good news, you get the kids in. You'll get the other 3 in. That's not going to be an issue. The question is, when does the what's it called? The Aaron Brewer contract come down, because that one has to happen soon. Before training camp, that one has to happen. The Jordan Brooks one is the interesting one, because I don't think you'll get any disgruntled-like behavior yet. But I just wonder what happens if we're getting deep into training camp and then preseason and Jordan doesn't have a contract. I can pretty much guarantee you that Brewer will have a contract. I wouldn't worry about, there's no way you're bringing Malik Willis here, dude, and you're going to cause problems with your center. There's just no way. It's like the Raiders. They knew that they were going to draft Mendoza, and they went out and gave, Tyler Limbaugh or whatever, the badass center from Baltimore. They brought him over for like $100 million or some crap like that. They gave him, because he's a top 3 center in the league. And they go, okay, we're going to bring this rookie quarterback in. We're going to bring the badass center and give it to him and all that. Smart. I believe John Eric Sullivan has showed me that he's a pretty smart dude so far. The Aaron Brewer one is a foregone conclusion. It's got to happen. But the Brooks one, that's where the rubber meets the road. They drafted a bunch of linebackers. You just never know. And you could get more linebackers next year. You wonder if you ride Brooks for one more year. Although I like Brooks. I would like to keep him around. You know what I mean? And then Jacob could be challenging for the other spot instead, obviously. But we'll see what happens. That's the one that you've got to watch right there. And because neither party knows each other, Brooks paid his dues for other people the last couple of years. That's the part that absolutely sucks. You appreciate him. I appreciate Brooks. I think most Dolphin fans, if I took a poll, most of us want that guy back. Most of us want you to sign him because he's young enough. He can actually survive the next contract with no problem, barring injury that could happen to any player. But he's a terrific player. But the part that sucks is he didn't do anything for these guys. So I don't know where this goes, the relationship, what their plan is, what their long-term vision is, all those kind of things. Now, I do know this. Their class that they just drafted, they won't need to deal with these guys for 4 to 5 years. 3 to 4, let's say, because you want to sign them a year before out. Okay. Brooks, you give him a new contract, it's really the 3 years, that window of when you start paying the rookies, you're probably at the end of that Brooks deal. Fiscally, it really shouldn't be a problem to keep Brooks. You don't have enough people under contract for this to be a problem, quite honestly. But I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what their vision is. I know this. The Aaron Brewer one that one's gold. That one has to happen because you're not going to make your quarterback's life a living hell by playing some backup center. You're not going to do that. You're going to pay Brewer. I'm 1,000% sure about that one. But the Brooks one that's the one that I want to see what happens. And we're all learning right now what is Hafley's habits, what he likes to do, what he doesn't, how he promotes his team, how he communicates with his players, how he coaches, how he prepares. All those things we'll find out as time goes on. But with John Eric Sullivan, we also have to learn what he thinks. Is he a kind of guy that gets attached to his players? Is he the kind of guy that is easily ready to move on from people? In this situation, it's a lot easier because you don't get attached to people right now because you just got there. But we're going to find out over time what kind of a GM he is. But at least we start seeing the movement right away from that Chubb money that became available. They even brought in a free agent to kind of help out. Good stuff there. I just hope that Sealer is good. That's all that matters. On the Dolphins side, let me see if we have any extra news to give you here on the Dolphins side. Well, I'm not seeing anything. Quinn Ewers is talking after practice, by the way. Let's see. He says the game is seemingly slowing down for him. Oh, that's it. There's really nothing crazy on Zane Anderson. Hafley says good teammate, smart, physical. Zane is the type of guy that if needed to go into a game, I wasn't going to lose any sleep over it. I have a lot of faith in him, very mature, very unselfish. He knows what he's doing. He studies it hard, and he works very hard to put himself in position he's now in. It comes back to trust. I trust the guy. Find out. Until they start hitting, and until the pads come on, it's all just a bunch of talk right now, unfortunately. You know? That's what it is, folks. All right. What else do we have here? Wasn't McDaniel the one that wanted HN drafted and got his way? I'm not sure. I don't know if he's really the guy that wanted HN or not. I'm not sure. Let's see, Jeff in Long Island. Yes, sir. Thank you. Big O, there's nothing to talk about. You are very entertaining. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Considering the crap that's out there right now, that there's nothing to talk about, it's brutal time right now to do sports talk, unfortunately. By the way, Aaron Donald considering a comeback. Now that they got Myles Garrett, he says he's got to find the fire for it. And I thought that was a very interesting comment. His wife, Erica, says, you're all hilarious because, like, Rams fans are going crazy wanting him to come back. And he talked about it when he left, that he lost the fire and love to play football. And that is a very interesting statement because that happens to you out there. It could happen to me. It could happen to all of us. That at one point or another, when you do something that you love, you could get tired of that same challenge and want a different kind of challenge in life. And when you've been successful like he has, you've made the money that he has, and it looks overall, folks, I'm talking a little bit out of place here, a little bit out of ignorance here, but it seems like he got away from the game pretty healthy overall. Like, I don't remember Aaron Donald going through a bunch of brutal injuries and a bunch of reconstructive surgeries or what. I don't remember that. I remember him dominating and being pretty much healthy throughout his career. So he's pretty fortunate in that sense. Now you've been 2 years away from football. You said then you lost the fire for it. He now said he had to regain it. I don't care what you are. If you're a teacher, you're a mechanic, you're a broadcaster, you're whatever it is, you're a golf instructor, a lot of us, we get to a point where we say, enough. I want to do something different, or I want to retire. Maybe you have that luxury. God, I wish I had that luxury myself. But I mean, anybody wishes they had the luxury to say, I want to retire. You know what I mean? But that part was interesting to me when he said that he's got to try to find that fire again. That's a hard match to light. Incredibly difficult. Once you lose it, to truly regain it back is hard. It's almost impossible. And usually when those kind of people do it, it's because it was taken from them. It was Bernard King, that it was taken from him from an injury, and he said, F that, I'm going to come back anyways, and he did. That's the kind of stuff that I'm talking about. It's the Kurt Warner who goes to the Giants and kind of becomes irrelevant and then ends up in Arizona and resurrects his career and goes to a Super Bowl. It's usually those kind of people that face some kind of adversity and it was taken away from them earlier than they wanted to, and they want to come back and reclaim it. Usually the guy that left or woman that leaves on top, i.e. Aaron Donald, i.e. Serena Williams, it's going to be hard for even those kind of freak athletes. It's even going to be hard for them to recapture that, because part of their athletic magic is their incredible determination. That's the combination that you cannot beat when you're freakish of talent and then you're driven, because we see a lot of people that are freakish of talent, but they don't necessarily have the drive and they're lazy and they don't maximize it or whatever. These kind of athletes like a Serena and an Aaron Donald, they maximized it, dude. They maximized it. They dominated. They got to the point that they dominated it so much, it probably got a little bit boring to them. It's kind of like the really smart kid in high school that is kind of half asleep most of the time and aces the tests and all, and you're like looking at it like, how the hell does this guy do this, or how does she do this? And it's because their IQ is so high, they're bored with school. They're way ahead of everybody else. Kind of like that. I don't think he comes back. I don't think so. And he's, by the way, he's also the guy, I'm talking out of place here. Here I'm guessing. He doesn't need this shit. He doesn't need to stroke his ego and get this. It has to be something that's part of his, his resume. He's already achieved everything he's needed to achieve. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a world champion. And not only is he a world champion and a first ballot Hall of Famer, when you talk about defensive linemen in the history of the game, his name is going to be one of the first three that you're ever going to talk about. What does he need to do? What does Serena need to do? If she's coming back for just doubles and, for shits and giggles, okay, that's fine. But I don't think you want to put yourself in that rigor again, especially at an older age and when you've walked away from it for a couple of years. Because if you don't have that same fire, the talent is not the thing that's only going to carry you, because the talent wasn't the only thing that was carrying you. That's the key, because there are endless amounts of athletes you and I can name that had a world of talent and didn't have the motivation, didn't have the drive, didn't have the determination to be great. And they could have been. And you know it and I know it. And we can sit here for days and name them in all kinds of sports. People that were just as talented as Serena, people that were just as talented as Aaron Donald in their own sports, and they just pissed it away. If you don't have that fire again, it takes more than talent, man. It takes more than talent. All right, let's see what we got here on the chat board. Oh, by the way, our friends at Welton Rayom, if you need bookend tackles that will take care of you, 954-966-4646, bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, consultations completely free. We are now in hurricane season, so save this number. God forbid But we have storms going in all the time now, and roof damage starts at 40 miles an hour. 40 miles an hour can cause roof damage. So if you see any brown spots in your roof, you may have a leak, call Welton Realm. They send over their adjusters. They'll assess the problem, and then they'll tell you if you have a case, and they'll go after the insurance company and get you that new roof. Can't beat that. 954-966-4646. Anyone use phone GPS to navigate, AutoCAD to make drawings, Getty Images to pull photos for your use? AI is a tool just like those. Jobs will be lost, unfortunately. Anyone miss MapQuest? LOL. Yeah, I mean, life evolves, dude. And people will have to evolve, and they will change. That's all. Somebody used to collect your change at the tolls. Now it's automatic. And you're going to need people that are going to need to build all those kind of machines. And people are going to have to deliver them, and people are going to have to install them, and people. So there'll be jobs. And unfortunately, it's kind of a part of a transition. It happens to everybody. In my business, radio's dying. So either you are, you either stay in radio, or you can go on your own, or you go somewhere else. And that's just kind of the way it goes. And you have to adjust in life. I adjusted 7 years ago. I adjusted. That's how life is, dude. You got to adjust, you adjust, and you get it done, and you move forward. Whining about it, yeah, that doesn't help you. AI is coming whether you like it or not. Computers are coming whether you like it or not. The internet's coming whether you like it or not. That's all. Sorry. Taxis were the thing, and now you've got Uber, and then you've got Lyft and all those things, and now you've got Waymo, and you've got, what is it, Tesla, or what is it called, Tesla, or what's it called, their whatever driving service or whatever, all those things. Now you have like a couple of different companies doing that, and they do it for a fraction of the price of taxis and of Uber and Lyft. This is the way it goes, man. That's life. We evolve. Used to be on a stagecoach, then you ended up on a train, now you end up on an electric monorail. That's life, man. Sorry. And jobs will develop from all of this in different ways, and people will have to get different kinds of skills. That's all it is. When I started in the business, it was with carts and cassettes. Then we went to digital formats, and then we went to digital recorders, and then we went to MP3 files and all that kind of stuff. That's how it goes, man. And you either adjust or die. So I went from editing reel-to-reel and carts to editing on computers. Adjust or die, my brother. That's my brothers and sisters out there. Adjust or die. Life is going to change. Life is going to evolve. Your job is, as a human being, is to educate yourself and adjust accordingly. That's just the way it goes. Crying about it and pointing fingers, that shit ain't going to get you anywhere. That's all. Yater says, Big O, thanks to you now, I am a Saratoga water addict. Thanks, brother. Isn't it so good? It's just so good. I think of the chef on Channel 10. I used to watch with the beard. Oh, it's so good. I don't know what it is, but Saratoga water tastes freaking delicious, man. And we get away from plastics. I buy the bottle. Get the glass, man. Stay away from the plastics. You know, we got enough plastics in our system. Let's get that shit out. So with the Saratoga, I don't get any plastics. Although they have the plastic bottle, but I glass. Everything tastes better with glass. When you drink a Coke from a can or a plastic bottle, it doesn't taste better than the Coke in the glass, the Mexican Coke. It's not even close. One of the few things that Trump gets right. Mexican Coke. He's a promoter of that. He gets everything else wrong. Although no, he got the he's gonna change permanently the that whole time zone thing, the daylight saving thing. Which thank God, bro. Yeah, I'm for that. See, he gets a couple of things right. He got the NATO people, the countries to get to 5%. Okay, I can find a couple of things that the idiot does right, but he does a ton of things wrong. But there's one thing that he got right there. Glass Coke. Can't compare glass to plastic and then aluminum. Oh my God. Sometimes those aluminum cans, you drink that and it tastes like you're aluminum. Like you feel it in your teeth. You're like, what the hell is this? Can't drink these cans, man. So I'm glad you're enjoying the Saratogas. So good. You get it at Moss, by the way. They have a decent price, and sometimes they have the buy one, get one free. I load up on those. It's like 60 bottles in my house. Oh, man. Yes. That's right, Brett. Video killed the radio star. Exactly. Exactly, sir. Skylar says, AI only takes pre-made work and remixes it. It's intellectual property theft. AI is a tool and should be used as one, not creating art. I'm an artist, and I see firsthand what it's doing to the industry. Yeah, and mine too. They've got AI broadcasters. For sure. You go on YouTube, and you'll see some of these segments, and you look at the person talking, and you can tell it's not a human. You can tell it's an AI. For sure. And there are people that are listening to AI music. They're watching AI broadcasting, news or whatever, which can all be manipulated and all that. Yeah. And I'm sure we're headed to AI talk show hosts, which is like the weirdest thing in the world, that you're not really talking to somebody human that can really react and read people and, you know, all that. It's just, and actually lives the things that you live. Like, that's how we connect with Saratoga right there. You can't do that with an AI robot because they don't drink the Saratoga water. So they can't tell you how freaking good it is. Or you see it every day on my show and you wonder, why is he always drinking that? And then you try it and you go, oh, okay, now can't ever do that with AI. Never. But that's where we're going. And there will be people that will be satisfied with AI hosts because it's the echo chamber that they seek. That's just kind of the way it goes. Big O, they have these things called Zooks. So, right, I've seen that. Self-driving, yes. That's that little square car, right? That's like all glass around and all that, right? Is that the Zook one, I think? Yeah, I've seen it. Yep. No one wants AI podcasts, books, movies, so trash. Some people will. Skylar, whether you like it or not, some people will, my brother. And that's their right. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have any interest myself in AI hosting or music or anything like that. But it's going to happen. It already is. Oh man, there's already AI music out there that has millions and millions of downloads. People that were fooled, that thought that they were a real band and they were all AI. It's going to happen. You can't dictate what people like, you know? And this is just something that they're going to gravitate to one way or another. Yeah. That's the way the world is changing, my friend. That is the reality. Let me do a little music, by the way. Let's do that. And don't forget to reach out to our friends at All Year Cooling and Plumbing, from Homestead all the way to Vero Beach, and we've got offices in Naples too. All right, 1-888-204-5554, and tell them that Big O sent you, man. They will take care of you. They are definitely good people there at All Year Cooling and Plumbing. All right, let's do it. Let's do a little birthdays today. Who was born on this date of June 3rd? We start off with musicians. Pretty Ricky. Tavion LaCorey Mathis, singer with the R&B hip-hop group Pretty Ricky, born in 1985. Kelly Jones, vocalist, guitarist with the Welsh rock band Stereophonics, born in 1974. Samantha Sprackling, singer with the alternative rock band Republica. Baby, what is it? Ready to go. Every sports arena in the world plays Republica. Everybody plays that song, man. That has that guitar and all. It's actually a pretty cool song. And it goes great in sporting arenas. Ready to Go from Republica. If you don't remember that song, play it, and right away you'll know what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, NorCal, are you listening? Your boy celebrating a birthday today. Kerry King, baby, born in 1964, lead man of Slayer. I know NorCal loves himself some Slayer, and he's tight with Kerry King. David Cole from CNC Music Factory. By the way, is he the guy that went off on Trump and then went off on the people that were going off on CNC Music Factory? Is that the guy, David Cole? I don't know if it is or not. Somebody can confirm it for me. But he was born on this date in 1962. Danny Wilde from the Rembrandts, born in 1956. Dan Hill, Canadian pop singer. Sometimes when we touch, the honesty's too much. Born in 1954, Dan Hill. Let's see who else. Billy Powell from Leonard Skinner, born in 1952. He died at the age of 56 on January 28th in 2009, sadly. Oh, the amazing Denise Williams with that high-pitched voice, that falsetto, born in 1951. Too much, too little, too late. Let's hear it for the boy. That was in the Footloose album. Born in 51 for her. Susie Quattro, the legend. Leather Tuscadero to some of you in Happy Days. Those of us that are rockers, we know Susie Quattro. But those of you that did not know she was a rocker, you only know her as Leather Tuscadero, Pinky's sister on Happy Days. And I think she was she a Fonzie interest, or somebody else was, I forgot now on the Leather Tuscadero thing. The fact that I remember Leather Tuscadero is already enough as it is. You know what I'm saying? Let's see who else is celebrating birthdays today. Dave Alexander, original bassist with the Stooges, born in 1947. Mickey Finn, percussionist with T-Rex, born in 1947. Michael Clark, drummer with the Flying Burrito Brothers and the Byrds, born in 1943. The amazing, the fantastic singer, songwriter, guitarist, record producer, Curtis Mayfield, baby. Yes, sir. Member of the Impressions, born in 1942. Little Superfly. Ian Hunter from Mott the Hoople, vocalist, guitarist, born in 1939. Eddie Willis, American soul musician, played the electric guitar, occasional electric sitar for Motown in-house studio band, the Funk Brothers. During the 60s and early 70s, he performed on many hits, Please Mr. Postman by the Marvelettes, The Way You Do Things You Do from the Temptations, You Keep Me Hanging On from the Supremes, I Was Made to Love Her by Stevie Wonder. Willis died on August 20th of 2018 at the age of 82. Awesome. Awesome. Now we move over to other famous people born on June 3rd. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means that they have passed away, unfortunately. Actor Tony Curtis, born in 1925. Poet Allen Ginsberg, born in 1926. Actor Penelope Wilton, born in 46. She is 80. U.S. First Lady Jill Biden, born in 51. She is 71. Actor James Purefoy, born in 64, 62. Musician Mike Gordon of Phish, wasn't on the other list, 65. He is 61 today. Journalist and TV anchor Anderson Cooper, born in 67. He's 59. Tennis legend Rafael Nadal, born in 86. He's 40. Actor Annie Winters, born in 94, 32. Actor Louis Partridge, born in 2003, 23. And that is famous people born on June 3rd. All right, we're going to move over to what happened today in music history. We start off in 67, where Aretha Franklin went number one on the U.S. singles charts with her version of Otis Redding's Respect. R-E-S-P-C-T. Everybody thinks that's her own, but that's a remake. But her remake was the one that everybody remembers. In 67, The Doors' Light My Fire, released in the U.S., where it went on to the top singles charts for 2 months. In 72, Jethro Tull started a 2-week run at number one in the U.S. album charts with Thick as a Brick. In 77, Bob Marley and the Wailers released their 9th studio album, Exodus, Movement Culture People, with the singles Exodus, Jammin', We're Jammin', Waiting in Vain, One Love, People Get Ready, and Three Little Birds. He was so good, man. God, he was so good. I can listen to his music on an endless loop. In 89, the Fine Young Cannibals started a 7-week run on the U.S. album charts with The Raw and The Cooked, and the album features the singles She Drives Me Crazy, ooh, ooh, and Good Thing, bum, bum, bana, bana, Good Thing. And on this date in 92, I remember this. Bill Clinton, campaigning for the U.S. president, made a stop in the Arsenio Hall show where he played the Elvis Presley hit Heartbreak Hotel on the sax. The appearance was later seen by historians as the definitive moment when Clinton captured the support of young voters and locked the election on charisma points. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. When Clinton played that sax, and the Arsenio Hall show was like the hip show where all the fresh acts came to perform, Arsenio was the god. Like, I'm gonna go and back and talk about we got a really big show tonight. What was this guy? Ed Sullivan. A really big show tonight, but it was like a really big show tonight. And he was the guy that would bring on the acts and all, but standard stuffy crap from those days. Arsenio Hall kind of became that guy, but in those days with Sullivan, they were already big acts when they got there. Arsenio did stuff where he would actually bring on acts that weren't even necessarily yet mainstream, but he would help lift them to mainstream. That's how that show was influential. And then all the hip artists or actors or whatever, everybody that was somebody would definitely go on Arsenio Hall's show, obviously. And when Clinton went on there and he played the sax and like a president doesn't do those kind of things, it's right. That is true that he kind of won them over in that sense. Definitely. It reminds me of like Michael was Michael, always was Michael Jackson. But on Motown's 25th anniversary special, when he did that moonwalk, it was a transcending moment that even if you weren't a Michael fan, you were even more marveled by the guy after all of that. And it was just like a watershed moment even for Michael, which is like enormous because you're Michael. You're the biggest entertainer in the damn world as it is already. And then you do that shit and you're like, what? And like everybody was doing that everybody was trying the moonwalk the next day. Did you see that? How do you do that? And all that kind of stuff. Watershed moments in history. And that Clinton sax moment was that, whether you like him or not, I don't really care. I don't care about either party anyway. So get your tight asses out of here with that stuff. In 95, Bryan Adams started a 5-week run at #1 in the U.S. singles charts with Have You Ever Really Loved a Woman? Featured in Johnny Depp's film Don Juan de Marco. It became Adams' 3rd U.S. #1. In 97, Faith No More released their 6th studio album of the year. It features Ashes to Ashes, Last Cup of Sorrow, and Strip Search. In 97, the Wu-Tang Clan released their 2nd studio album, Wu-Tang Forever, and it features Triumph, Reunited, It's Yours. And let's see who else. In 2002, Paul McCartney and Aretha Franklin performed at Queen Elizabeth II Golden Jubilee, which celebrated the 50th year of her reign. In 2008, Fleet Foxes released their self-titled debut album, and it features White Winter Himmel. In 2008, Adele performed at the Current for the first time, playing Right as Rain, Hometown Glory, Chasing Pavements, and a cover of Bob Dylan's Make You Feel My Love. In 2016, The Kills released their 5th studio album. I had no idea they had 4 of them before this one. Ashes and Ice. It features Doing It to Death, Siberian Nights. No, that's definitely not the one that I'm sure their Siberian Nights is not the one that I'm talking about. Impossible Tracks and Heart of a Dog. Somewhere somebody started popping when I did that, the Siberian Nights. They just started popping there. I know you did. I caught you. I felt it. In 2019, Forbes declared Jay-Z a billionaire, making him the first rapper to hit that mark. $310 million of his fortune came from his stake in Armand de Branac Champagne. Who knew? Let me see if there's any birthdays that weren't on the other list, just in case. No, that is it. That's what happened today in Musica history. By the way, Def Leppard set for October 15th on a Thursday. I think the tickets might go on sale on Friday. For those of you who are looking for a South Florida date for the Def Leppard tour, there you go. They've got a couple of different opening acts. And they've got some good ones, too, actually. Not like crappy ones like Motley Crue. I'm out of water. That is not good. That's not good. I got to go downstairs to get a damn bottle. Oh, let's see. Lenny Pena says, Big O, David Cole of CNC passed away. Oh, so that's not the guy. Okay. I think the guy you're talking about is the other member of CNC Music Factory, either Freedom Williams, the rapper, or the other guy, forgot his name. I don't know the guy's name. I don't know any of their names for CNC Music Factory, to be quite honest. All I know is the guy went off. He went off on Trump, but then he went off on the people that were going off on CNC Music Factory, thinking that they were playing in that festival, when everybody that was playing on that festival was lied to. They thought it was a regular, event for America and all that, and it's not. It's a Trump event run by a Trump company and all that kind of stuff, because he puts everything under his umbrella so they can profit and all that kind of stuff. And so that's when they all made the decision, like, no, this is not for me, and I'm out. Except for, of course, Vanilla Ice, who is dying to play anywhere, his one hit. By the way, Vanilla Ice is perfect to play for Trump. Come on, dude. Ice, ice, baby. I can see all of them just standing behind him, with their suits on, their masks, and they're all dancing. And in fact, that should be the theme song when they bust into homes and they're arresting people and arresting innocent people and shipping Americans off to other countries. They should be playing that's Ice, Ice, Baby. So the Vanilla Ice one, you people don't realize that it's apropos. Is there a better artist to really play a 250s Trump event than Vanilla Ice? It's in his name. It's in his song. I mean, this doesn't take a lot of real creativeness or thinking here. You know what I'm saying? Perfect marriage for those two. Pat in Nashville, you got a birthday today? Is that true? Brett Dodger says, happy birthday, Pat in Nashville. Nice. Brett Dodger, yours was yesterday. Happy birthday. Happy late birthday to you. Happy birthday, Pat. Damn. All right. There we go. The AI Big O Show rock song was no, it's not. That's actually real. That's not AI. That's real. Mason is real, and I always gotta thank and bless Stephen Carter Holmes, who is the original artist of the song 20 years ago. He came up with that song. And because I've changed different stations and platforms and all that, I had to remake it. And Mason Pace just knocked it out of the park, dude. I love what he did. He just did it exactly in the fashion and the form that it was created. He freaking nailed it, dude. Did a great job with it. I love that tune. That to me is a gem of a open for a show. Mason did awesome. Just awesome. Beautiful. Thank you, Mason, out there. I know you're not watching right now because sports is not your thing, but thank you, my brother. I appreciate you immensely. Okay? Big time. Big time. We'll be back at Hialeah for the football season, by the way. So we'll be out there having some fun for the football season. And appreciate you all out there. I'm sure we'll be having fun. And we'll have Steve Calabro raising hell like he always does. I actually talked to him yesterday. Let's see. What else? Oh, Mason killed it, bro. He was awesome. Big O, as long as you keep your impressive, massive pool of knowledge of useless trivia facts, AI stands no chance, LOL. That's one thing I don't know. I don't know when I'll stop doing this. That's the one thing I don't know. I haven't made that plan yet. Because I'm definitely taking it on the road in the near future, I would say. I would think, like I told my wife 2 years ago, I'm serving my last term now when I hit 58. So 62, finito. I retire. But I will probably still keep doing the show. But I will probably retire, and probably will be somewhere else. If everything goes like I think it's going to go, like I've been planning for a few years, yeah, I would imagine that I'm somewhere else by the time I'm 62 and getting the hell out, because I'm going to declare my retirement early. That money ain't going to be around very long. I don't count on these people to manage our money anymore. I count on them to mismanage our money, is what I count on both sides to do. Anyway, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults. Where are we at now? We're at 66,223. I love it. I love it. I'm telling you, we may have a shot at 60, man. We may have a shot. The Dow is down 453 points right now. Obviously, with the war escalating, and I don't know if you guys saw the Kuwait International Airport. Like the whole Terminal 1 was like completely wiped out and bombarded and all that. So they shut down the airport, and all hell's breaking loose. We had some of our servicemen get injured. A couple of our planes got hit in the last couple of days. They don't tell you anything because, they lie and try to deceive about it. So this is just getting escalated is what's happening. There's no deal being made or anything like that. These people want to stretch it out as long as possible and create as much problems as possible, because they don't care about making their people suffer at all. They don't care at all. So it's rough. Yep, 458 points. Now that it's usually refreshes and changes by now. So the Dow is down 458 points. The S&P is down about 41 points. And the NASDAQ is down about 0.75 of a point. Nothing. It's just a little movement. And again, considering everything, things are good, man. Things are really good. What else do we have to talk about on the show? We've talked a little Dolphins. We've done pretty much everything. Yeah. We've done pretty much everything. All right, folks. We are out of here. We appreciate all of you out there as always. Don't forget to hit the like button. We shall see you tomorrow morning. Same time, same place. Same bat channel.
This is the